and welcome to Down the Shed with me, Jason. So in this video we're going to be making this car alarm simulator, a Velleman MK126. As per normal, the instructional card comes with simple but easy to understand guideline or instructions. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through of what we got in this little strip here. I'll go through the other parts and we'll crack on. So we have 5 yellow, purple, red 4K7 4700 ohm resistors. We have one 47K 47K, sorry, yellow, purple, orange. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like we have 7 brown, black, yellow 100K resistors. We have a 2K2 2200 ohm, a red, and a 470 yellow, purple, brown. We have 3 1N4007 diodes. We have a 6V2 Zener, an IC socket, a 100 UF capacitor, a 1 UF capacitor. Give you a quick shot of that lot. A 10400 NF capacitor, a 2K2 variable resistor, 2 terminal blocks, and an IC. We also have this LED, which was red, and you guessed it, I've changed it to blue. So without much, oh, and some shrink tube for the LED. So I have decided to change the board. I'm not going to use the second rising clamp for the LED. I'm going to use that plug in, plug out clamp. So let's crack on and get this board populated. Let's move you a bit into shot. There we go. Too much light. And we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so for those of you who don't yet know, my component tray is actually the packaging from an old projector. Not an old projector, but it's old packaging from a projector I bought. It was 65 quid on Amazon. Absolutely cracking bit of kit. This came, I can't remember what it was in, but this little bit of foam, as you can see, makes a brilliant little component. Right, as normal, I'll do a couple of pins. I'm not going to make you sit through the whole lot. I'm using the mill solder because there's nothing really intricate here. Certainly no need to waste the smaller stuff, although it does seem to melt better than this larger stuff. Mind you, this larger stuff was what came with the soldering iron station, so I don't know about the quality of it, but the stuff I get on Amazon, the 0.6 and 0.8 mil, I'll have to get 0.4 for SMD parts. But yeah, this Amazon solder that I use is absolutely terrific. Can't get in here. There we go. So let's pause you there a minute. Right, that's all the resistors in. The reason why I paused the video for the soldering, apart from the save wasting your time, is I like to run this little fan. I think it was an Audi, but it just sits here and keeps the fumes down. Right, as you can see, the blue tack's made a slight mess of the board. Watch. And that is literally blue tack cleaned up. It is that simple and it's that good. It just sticks to itself like anything. So we've got D1, grey band on the diode, white band on the silk screen. D2, grey band on the diode, white band on the silk screen. D3, grey band on the diode, white shaded area on the silk screen, or the band on the silk screen. They are absolutely crucial you get those the right way round. They are dependent on the correct fitment. 6V2 Zener diode. Again, black band on the diode, white band on the silk screen. Absolutely crucial you get that the right way round. Okay guys, so there's the board soldered up. Just put some light on it. There's the board soldered up. And let's get that blue tack off. And clean. So we've got the resistors all in. We've got the three, I think they're Schottky diodes, and the Zener diode are all in. I've got a horse I've got to go and put back into his little paddock overnight, otherwise he gets fat on grass, because horses do most of their eating overnight and most of their sleeping during the day. The reason for that is it's cooler at night, so it's easier to graze for them. So it'll be like that for you, but it's going to be an hour for me. Okay, welcome back. Let's get the IC holder in. Remembering there's a notch on the end of the IC board, and there's a little like goalpost on the silk screen. The notch goes with the goalpost, so when you go to put the chip in, you know which way round it goes, because there's only one right way. So we'll plop that on. Just put a little bit on the other side. Well, I say a little bit, it's an entire bloody blob, but never mind. So I suggest soldering at two opposite corners, just to hold the, even though it's blue tack, just to secure it into place. Plus, by doing opposite corners like this, you're distributing the heat better in the part, so you're not getting it too hot in one place too quickly. Capacitors. C1 is 100 UF, 25 volt. Long leg, short leg, and the grey band. I'll say this on every video. The grey band is the negative, as it says on there. So the long leg, obviously in the plus. Some boards will actually put a hash marking or grey marking on the actual board, just to denote the minus. That's going to sit in place, so let's just pop that in quick. And we'll snip those in a moment. And C2 is a 1 UF at 50 volt. So C2, long leg into the plus. That one's not going to stay on its own. Blue tacky. You don't really have to worry too much about them being straight. You can always just bend them afterwards, like so. So let's pop that one in. I'm going to let you see. I'm keeping the fan off, so I'll suffer with the fumes. Not that there's a lot of it at the moment. Right, let's get those snipped. Next we have a 104-100 NF capacitor, C3PO. Master Luke. Where is C3PO? Okay, so that's right on the edge of the board here. I should be okay. There we go. A little blob of blue tacky. Hold that against that. That'll be fine. I'm going to have to turn this. Are we still in shot? We appear to be. I'll just check these at the end just to make sure the solder joints are good, considering how close they are to the edge of that PCB holder. There we go. Resistor trimmer, or a variable resistor. It's a 2K2 brackets 2K5. So that wants to go in that way. I thought it would have, oh I see, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to blob blue tack on that. just to hold it up straight. Let's bring you back round how you were. Oh, this one's a bit fumy. Let's see what the other solder smoke's like. This is the one I get off Amazon. This is the point, I think it's 0.8 actually. So much better solder, to be fair. So that's the trimmer, which we need to adjust later. Give that a bit of a dab. Terminal block. Well, as I said, I'm only fitting one because I'm modifying the board. So that actually wants to go on when the board's out of the holder. Actually, it wants to come out of the holder because that's all that's left. So that's 12 volt DC. So we'll plug that in there like that. That's just. I'm going to pause you for a sec. Okay, so that's blue tacked in. See, the thin stuff's good for SMD, but it doesn't really bung it in now on these bigger circuits when you want it to. Reflow that. Reflow that. So that's it pretty much, apart from one item. So as I said, I'm actually going to put the LED onto a terminal block like this. Now I really think I should. Let's see if it will hold first. If not, we'll I'll tell you what, let's do it properly. Okay, so the other terminal block is now in. I'm going to abandon my original idea. So you don't get a lot of flex with these, and it wants you to wire into a 12 volt somewhere. So the easiest way would be to mount this into a little box near the car battery and then run the LED through to the dash. So what I'm going to propose doing, seeing as all three of our cars, the missus's and my two, have already got plenty of flashing LEDs in them. Mine's got a seriously good alarm in there. Hers is a Toyota, and my other one is a Mini. So they've all got their own alarm LEDs. But speaker cable is what I'm going to run the LED on. Because basically speaker cable is small enough to handle the current required from an LED. I mean, it's nothing. So that technically is the finished board. All I've got to do now is run power and the LED. So let's get the LED wired up. Let's get you into shot. So yeah, that's the finished board. So I'm actually going to strip using these Halfords. Let's zoom back out a minute. These Halfords wire strippers. They're actually pretty good. They're not a bad bit of kit actually. Cost about, I think they were a £5. So I am going to tin these leads. Let's bring the solder station and its helping hands over. Is that in shot? Yeah, it's in shot. So we'll just bung that in there for a second. Oh, I can smell melting plastic. So that's good enough for them. So let's get the other end done. What I'm going to do is take this over to the car, because it needs the car engine to actually do its thing. Basically, I think what happens is the circuit recognizes when the engine's off and there's a nominal voltage, and then when the engine started, obviously the alternator kicks extra voltage in. It recognizes that extra voltage and stops the circuit. It's a bit like some day running lights I had from Halfords. They just wired straight into the 12-volt battery, and as soon as you put the engine on, it recognised the extra voltage and fired up the lights, and they also dimmed out for side lights so you weren't blinding everyone at night. But yeah, as soon as the engine went off, about 10-20 seconds later, they were just shut down. 60 quid, but yeah, they were brilliant. Don't know what I did with them actually. Okay, so I'm going to put the wiring in for the 12-volt. Literally, oh, rising clamp blocks, just screw them down. Not over tight, otherwise you just ruin the block. See if we can get on enough of it. So that's the power side. Right, I'm only going to shrink tube the positives. I ain't going to short out on anything. Let's get some more tin on this. Right, this is a heat-proof mat, so trying to keep the shrink tube away from the heat. So the positive. Okay, so slide the shrink tube up. Just give that a little bit of warmth off the iron. It's actually good for fishing tackle shrink tube, making rigs for when you're ledgering. Just a bit of a tip there. Right, so we'll get this one on. Actually, I want to cut that back a bit. Gonna actually want that back. You could put a little bit of black tape around it, but as I said, to be fair, as long as that positive side's good. Oh, dog, you got caught up in my leads. So let's give that a quick test. So the black should be minus. There we go. And one LED. So the rest of this test is going to have to happen over by my car, because we need the engine running for the circuit to deactivate and turn off to reactivate. So the instructions say this is complete now. This is all wired up. It's not plugged into anything yet, but we hook the circuit up to the vehicle's electrical system. What's that star mean? There's a star on here. I don't know what it means. Adjust RV1 until the LED flashes when the engine is not running. Start the engine. The LED the LED should turn off. If not, adjust RV1 slightly, repeat procedure. So basically we have to trim the variable resistor to get it flashing when the engine's off, and then it should turn off with the engine. If not, we have to just keep adjusting slightly. So let's go and play. So the engine's off, and you should see just here the blue light flashing. We'll fire the engine up. But wait, it's still flashing. It was perfectly adjusted when it arrived, so I've had to de-adjust it so you can see what you might have to do with yours. So the variable resistor here, well, I've turned it a short amount, but I know roughly where it's supposed to go. There you go, there was one. The engine's dropping. So we'll adjust it a wee bit more. Right, there you go. No flash. So we had it just off the cusp where it needs to recognise the increased voltage from the alternator into the battery. So shut her down, and instantly she's back in place. So fire the engine up again, just to show that it wouldn't have flew. And there you, well, hang on, it sometimes does double. There you go. Stop flashing. So that's the Velleman MK126, I think it was. Fake car alarm simulator. I've changed the red LED for the blue because I just prefer it. It's bright, ultra bright 5mm LED as opposed to the all red 5mm LED. Working as it should. Thanks for watching. Click and subscribe, like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Just in case you think I was mental when I said there was another car behind me, that's my Japanese import Pajero, which is Shogun in England, and that's Twiggy.